Hi there, I am Kat, your teaching strategist. And what I do is I help you to teach your passion and rock out your courses. I have a master's degree in instructional design and teaching with technology, and I have been rocking courses for more than 15 years as an instructor and as a designer of courses. So I'm here to help you as well. And today I have five tips to ensure, all but guarantee, that your learning participants are going to walk out of your course feeling like you just gave them the most amazing experience of their lives. Whether it's a webinar or instructor-led format or e-learning format, there is a way to make sure that your participants walk away feeling just like ecstatic about their experience and ready to go out and shout it to the world, okay? How do I know how to do that? Because you guys, I worked for some of the biggest learning and development marketers in the world. You might know some names like SkillPath Seminars, Fred Pryor Seminars, and Rockhurst University. I worked for all of them, you guys, and I traveled all around this country training trainers and teaching them how to monetize the courses that they are teaching for other people. But guess what? Now I'm doing it for myself, and I'm here to share a lot of my secrets with you. So these 5 tips on how to ensure success are going to really, really help you. And why is this important? Why? Your reputation. You want people to walk out of your courses and be ready to shout to the world that they had an amazing experience and that they should come to your courses as well. The other thing is that you really want people to learn. You really want them to engage with you. And the way to do that is to make sure that you rock your course. The other thing, you guys, is monetization. If you rock your course and if you use these strategies that I'm getting ready to tell you to ensure success with your classes, guess what? They are going to want to come back for more, whether it's through your coaching program or more courses or your ebook or whatever it is, okay? So let's get right into it. Get your pen and get your paper and get ready to take some notes because class is in session. All right? Okay, you guys, here is number 1. Number 1, and you have to excuse me, I am clearing my throat from these allergies and I'm watching my notes as well. I want to make sure I don't miss anything for you. Here is your tip number 1. Your number 1 tip for ensuring and all but guaranteeing success for your class is to include assessments. That's right, assessments. That's something that your competition really isn't doing, right? They're only thinking about how many people can I get in the room? How many people can I get in the room? Monetize, 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 right? Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you don't use the tools that you have, then you're missing out, you guys. One of those tools is an assessment, okay? So I really want you to make it a point to include an assessment. So what is an assessment? An assessment is a tool that you use to gauge the reaction that people have to your class. Sometimes it's called a smiley sheet, or sometimes it's called a level 1 assessment, all right? So you've been to workshops or classes where they give you an assessment. You need an assessment too. Why? Because you want to make sure that you address any concerns that people have before they leave your class. That's the key, you guys. Do not let people leave your classes unsatisfied. And an assessment is a great way to find out, were they satisfied? If not, why? So that you can fix it before they leave. Make sure that you clarify any points that they thought were confusing or any of that before they leave your classroom. And the assessment is the best way to do it. So always leave time for people to give you an assessment. The other reason that assessments are really, really important is because they tell you what to offer them next. right? So they might say, oh, this was an amazing class. I would love to know more about your topic on relationship building. And you say, oh, okay. So now you know what product to offer that particular person, and you can really customize it. So now can you see how assessments are really key and really crucial? Okay, I hope you do. So definitely use number 1 tip, which is include assessments in your course. All right. Number 2, here's my number 2 tip, 2 of 5. All right. Your second tip for guaranteeing success in your course is to start by asking them, right, before you even get started, finding out what they hope to get out of your class. What they hope to get out of your class. It's a simple question. You can have 3 lines. You can do it several ways, you guys. There are ways to, some of these platforms have forms that when people sign up for things, there's a form attached where you can ask 1, 2, or 3 questions, or 4 or 5, but try not to ask them too much. The main question is, what do they hope to get out of your class? The most optimal thing to do is ask this before the class starts. Ask it before the class starts. That way, if you need to tweak your course a little bit to make sure that you accommodate that particular question, you can do that, right? And then your participants are going to be like, oh my gosh, she totally knew what I needed, and she addressed it. And she gave me some tools I needed for that particular problem. And there it is, you guys. There it is. So now your participant feels like they got what they came for. They got what they came for. And you are well on your way to rocking your course. Okay? So that is tip number 2. Ask your participants first, okay, what they hope to get out of your class, so that you can address it. All right, number 3. Here's your number 3 tips. Here's your number 3 tip. Let your learners know that you are actively going to be asking for an assessment, a ranking. You are asking them to evaluate you. You guys, this is a small thing, but it's a big thing. All right, it's a small thing, but it's a big thing, because you are asking them to not only take in the information, but you are asking them to please evaluate me. My job is to earn your highest mark. Of 1 through 10, my intention is to get a 10 from you. Why? Because I am going to earn it. In this hour, in this webinar, today, at the end of the course, I am going to give you an assessment. And I'm going to ask you to rank me 1 through 10. My job during this hour is to ensure that you feel confident, comfortable, and willing to run over there to that number 10 and fill it in, because I rocked your course. Doesn't that sound amazing? Doesn't that make your learners just excited, because you're there to earn their respect and not just take their money and say, oh, well, hope you get it, right? Doesn't that sound better? Exactly. So these are little things that you can do, you guys, to really rock it out and ensure success, so that when they give you a high mark, or when they leave your class and they say it was amazing, they really mean it. They really mean it. And they actually know why they're saying that, because that is really powerful for someone to say, not only was it amazing, this is why it was amazing, right? So really powerful stuff, you guys. I'm telling you, I work for some of the biggest learning and development marketers in the world. And they taught us all of these little tips and tricks. And so now you're getting it from me. All right. So that was tip number 3. Tip number 4, I want you to be prepared. Yeah, that's right. Be prepared for your course. Okay. What does that mean? That means start on time. That means end on time. People don't want to be in a course that was billed as 1 hour. They don't want to be in there for 2 hours. They don't want to be in there for an hour and 45 minutes. Not if they had scheduled an hour, right? People's time is very, very valuable, and you want them to come back to your class. You want them to sign up for another class. So you don't want them to feel like, oh, well, last time I was in the class, I signed up for it. It was supposed to be an hour, but it ended up being an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and a half. And I really didn't have it. I wanted to get off, but I didn't want to waste my money. You don't want people having all those barriers, all right? And you really do want to respect people's time. And that's a great way to guarantee success, because people are going to walk out saying, you know what? They stuck to what they said they were going to do. She said it was an hour course, and it's an hour, right? So that means a lot. That means something that says something about your integrity and respect for your learners' time, all right? So be prepared, all right? When I was teaching for SkillPath and all these other folks, I always was at my classes an hour and a half early, at least an hour and a half. And I was traveling from other cities. So I just was always there, because you're always going to have your early learners, people who come there early and some come on time and that sort of thing. And I always wanted to be prepared no matter what. So that's tip number 4. All right. Here is your last but not least tip to guarantee success from your course. You want to engage. One of the biggest mistakes that I see trainers making is that they forget to really engage their audience. They either forget or they really don't know how to effectively engage learners. And so that is really, really key. People want to feel involved, included. They have things to say. They want to contribute in some kind of meaningful way. So whether you have 2 people in your class or 20 people in your class or 200 people in your class, there are ways to engage your learners on every level. And you have got to make sure that you incorporate interactive activities, not just activities just to do them, right? Because, you've been to courses where people are doing activities just to say that they kind of checked it off the list. It's like, okay, so let's all get in a group and do this. No. Your activities have to be relevant. They have to be relevant, they have to be engaging, and they have to help the learners to connect the dots. That's the purpose of interactive activities. And you need them because you need to engage. Because remember, your adult learner wants to pull in their experience to help connect the dots for themselves, for the material that you're sharing. All right, that's how adults learn. That's how they like to communicate, because they have such a breadth of experience. So you want to be able to include those interactive activities and experiences so that you can engage them. All right, so let's recap. Let's recap the 5 tips that I've given you. Number 1, you are going to include assessments, all right, in your courses. Find time, make time to have assessments. Number 2, you are going to start by asking your participants what they hope to get from your course. What do they want to get from your course, so that you can be flexible and accommodate that, all right? Number 3, you are going to let the learners know that you are actively seeking an excellent rating from them. You are actively seeking it and that you intend to earn it, all right? And number 4, you are going to be prepared. Be prepared. Start on time, end on time. Start on time and end on time, all right? And number 5, engage. All right, your learners want to be engaged, all right? That is what makes for an awesome course. That is what makes people leave out and say, this was an amazing experience. So I know that these tips are going to help you. So I want you to use all 5 of them in your next course, and I'd love to hear about it. So definitely email me, kat@theteachingstrategist.com, and I'd love to hear how you employed these techniques and these tactics, and let me know if you need any assistance with pulling it off, because it's not just about creating your course, it's about pulling it off, okay? And I'm here to help you with that. And you can do that by putting some time on my calendar, bit.ly/chat with Kat. Absolutely free time with me. So bit.ly/chat with Kat with a K. And I'd be happy to talk you through and walk you through some of these techniques. All right. So thank you so much for joining, and class is dismissed. Talk to you soon. Bye.